All right, thanks. Thanks for joining us as we go down to the labyrinth of madness. So we have the Senate UFO hearing tomorrow in the morning sometime. I'm not sure when. I don't know when Congress gets up, like at 10 o'clock. I'm not sure if they ever give up. I guess they get up in the morning at some point in time. Let me check actually. UFO hearing. Doesn't really say. 9 o'clock. Wow, you get up that early. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. So maybe the clone wakes up for them. You get their clones that get up early in the morning until the original gets out of bed at noon. So that's going to be interesting. I'm not sure if anything, because it's getting a lot of attention. So, and the spy agencies are involved with this too, obviously. So it's kind of weird how they're even doing this at all. So, but then again, they have to tell us what they're doing every now and then. Not that they're going to go into much detail, but you never know. Something good might come out of it. It's unclear at this point. I'm not holding my breath for any of it, but it's hard to say. Something's better than nothing. But now the aliens going to land their ships and all that, or my favorite, the mass arrest is going to happen, and then the aliens show up. Maybe the next time's out, I don't think that's ever going to happen. But it's okay to have wishful thinking. Also, the 1970s. That's been they've been doing this for a while. I've talked about this in the past, but now it's actually showing up. People are actually saying we're going back to the 70s. It's kind of getting headline news with that. So it is it's different reasons. Yeah, either they don't want us to evolve or they want us to evolve, whatever it might be. It's different connections there. But if you start to notice it more, I don't know. It all depends on the person. But they are misdirecting us in the 1970s. So they're holding some of us back, not everybody. Of course, most of the society is not realizing. I mean, we have Biden, that's our version of Jimmy Carter. So obviously he's talking about phoning it in. So, but it is a 1970s manipulation. I do feel like we're in the year 1967 in some form. Because we are having the spiritual development, also the spiritual awakening that's happening currently. So it's kind of like we're going through another hippie movement in some form. It has not hit the full, the college campuses, you can say. If the college campuses are even awake at this point. Yeah, I think that's where the hippie movement didn't start in the college campuses. I mean, obviously, it started in other places, but it is college related. Let's put it that way. So, yeah, we'll see what we tap into that. There is some time travel energy going on for sure. I tapped into this yesterday, but kind of going to a little bit more. Actually, putting 1970s in the title. In African Congo, there's places around the world that are seed areas where the human, or we were seeded to, humans are already here, but we're seeded to evolve in certain ways, in different ways. And Congo feels like that's where a lot of stuff was done for us to be mangled, moved around, just experiments. You can see that in their gods. Always can see in some of the statues and all the weirdness that was there. So it's just another way of looking at it. Some people might have a different perspective of it, but that's probably most likely one of the places they're just trying things out. Doesn't mean it worked out. It's within the Congo, people's in their DNA. So they can probably, I think a lot of them in Africa have pretty good DNA compared to the rest of us, where our DNA is like, grade D DNA, which is mine, part of mine. Can't be in the sun, can't really do much of anything. I don't have enough African connections apparently. So think of like Africa. Yeah, it's kind of like the golden people, you could say. Golden DNA. Just you know, where you don't have to eat at all or eat a little bit, or your body's just at a superior level. Of course, society there sucks. It's a war zone for not everywhere, but a good portion of it. So with greatness comes consequences to it. So not that many people here are traveling to Africa for their African adventure. I doubt it. At least they're not going to the Congo, that's for sure, unless you know what the hell you're doing. I think malaria is pretty popular there. It's not a safe place. At least Congo does. I mean, if you know what you're doing, you'll be all right. But if you don't know what the hell you're doing, it's not recommended. I imagine there are tourist areas there somewhere. Yeah, I don't know enough about it, but a lot of it does feel pretty dangerous. So this is the vibe I'm getting from it. But it does seem like Congo is a seed place where not that yeah, like I said, not that humans are seeded there, but basically a lot of alien DNA was seeded into our genetic vocabulary. Some have it, some don't, and so on. So, yeah, okay. And the cats are Fritzy's sleeping on my clothes again. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's why. No wonder I couldn't see it. Okay, so I'm totally calm my prep sessions. You have the scheduler, you have the shop here. I am now in May, officially. Same situation here. We have this webinar, social network, behind the scenes. And then this thing. So I was going to put this in the title. Skull and Bones type of spy agencies grapple with how much to share at UFO hearing. I mean, they actually put an article about this. So it's like, okay, they're careful what they say. So what the hell do they know? Obviously, they know a lot of stuff, apparently, which, they know these suckers are real and everything. I mean, there's an alien connection to it, but obviously they're going to call it UAPs. Of course they're going to call it that. Why not? Well, but they call it UAPs, and they don't have to call it UFOs anymore, which draws attention. So your average person, when they hear UAP, they don't know what the hell that even means. So yeah, top Pentagon of intelligence has been taken over. I think a lot of these people are actually clones. Programmed. I mean, obviously they're elitists, but there's also a clone energy connected to them too. So yeah, just a dog and pony show, basically. I'm not. You never know. They might say something of worth. They're not exactly the smartest people in the world, so there's a lot of stupid there. So we might get lucky and get something good out of it, where they don't delete it or anything. That's the other thing about the 1970s stagnation crisis, similar to the 1970s. This is the ex-Fed that was part of our 2008 depression that we went through. So when he came in, I knew something wasn't right about him. Of course, he's not in it now, but yeah. So anyway, here's a Skull and Bones title and UFO files. Let's see, there's something else here. There's something else here, but maybe not. Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, African art. So I believe some of this stuff is, alien depictions. Some of it is. It's not just, it's just, they're masks. There's something else going on. It's like they're showing us who is here, some kind of multiple alien races that were here, and it's not her. Obviously, there's some channels that just say, oh yeah, it's these people. It's like, whatever. It's not everything needs to be fully known. Let's put it that way. So, but yeah, there's just some things here but basically just different alien races. Some of them are Anunnaki beings, but they definitely don't look human at all, for that matter. What the hell is that? For a big kiss. But so it's a lot of mysterious energies there. Some might just look at it as nothing, but there is something to all of this. So it's just hidden. It's just their depictions of it. It's obviously not a safe place to go for most part, but there's a lot there hidden. Of course, there's the warlords. So it's not exactly but it still has a lot of primitive energies there too, of course. Landmarks, there isn't really much in the landmark stuff. Yeah, there's waterfalls, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, there's just I feel like they're just keeping a lot back. It's just not something just isn't right. So that's just give you kind of an idea of it. Republic of Congo, it's pretty much the same thing. So it's just they're just holding a lot back. You can just feel it for obvious reasons. Maybe they should have the Senate hearing in the Congo. I doubt they're going to do that. We got enough monkeys in there already, right? God, jeez, our government's just. I don't know if we're supposed to take any of them seriously. I mean, obviously they have the law behind them, and Gestapo type of energy. Shadow government telling them what to think. It's not the best energy. Send them Reiki. They just need a panda bear there. So anyway, yeah, it does tricks. So okay, all right, we'll do UFO Senate hearing energy. I feel the Palladians around for that. Interesting. I'm expecting a whole lot for. Obviously, lots. Well, it's I'll have to bring somebody through. I might get a quick clearing on that. In the 1970s, I would just see what comes through that. In Africa, we'll just see where it comes through. Obviously, they have to whitewash a lot of stuff. I mean, they can't go into super detail on this stuff. We have to figure stuff out on our own. We have to live the timeline as it is. But we just can tap into some of it. So, all right. Blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are the Palladians. Blessings. UFO hearings. They will bring out some details that have not been heard before. Obviously, they're not going to go to. Basically, they're building up an agenda that they wish to activate in the future. Not to say your alien invasion. Well, not exactly, but they are testing the waters. Yeah, they're building up for some alien confrontation in your future. That will be artificially created. So the zeitgeist of UFO knowledge is going to become more part of your society. Not yet, though. Just little pieces of it. We don't really. They're going to talk about this because they have to reveal some information because there's a lot of agendas that they're at the point where they have to reveal. Not deeply, but at least put the UFO knowledge out there. That's most likely everything you've already heard. But as has alien energies, so this is a form of disclosure for those that want to open up more. So this is like a minor disclosure healing, you could say. Yes, others will roll their eyes and just look the other way because society obviously is not tapped into it just yet. So this is a kind of a warm-up. Obviously, many individuals have to connect to their alien roots if they wish to, through their intuition, intentions. Anybody can do it. Most are not in tune to it for obvious reasons because they have their daily lives to live. So it's like you have your daily life or you have aliens. Like I have to survive and do all this, and then aliens. Like I'm not sure, but if you're awakened enough, yes, you can know all you want about the alien frequencies. Always a version of it, maybe not all of it. But so this is bringing the UFO knowledge into the human element. So the thing is like a stepping stone. Obviously, there's a whole nother layer to it, the healing modalities, and you go deeper into yourself. And of course, many aren't quite ready for that part. They just want to see themselves some spaceships and take some pictures of it and share it on Instagram. And then that's it. But as you're going to more of a, basically, eventually you'll have a time where you connect to alien beings physically, of course. Of course, there'll be fourth dimension, but still, they can still manifest themselves in your physical realm to a certain level. Yeah, they don't want to reveal what's happening in your black projects either. Much of that's been kept secret for obvious reasons. Yeah, but once again, this is just to see where humans are. I was mentioned yesterday, just to see where the human element and how far you want to go. But those people that are very physically connected, like they have to see stuff. Well, the Senate hearing, you're hearing them talk about it. So it is a version of seeing it. Not to say everybody's going to, get together, open up the third eye, and connect to alien beings. We're not holding our breath on that one just yet. Or go to an Indian reservation to connect to the aliens that way, like such as Sedona and other places around the world. Even the Bermuda Triangle has some energies there. You'd be surprised. But we don't see how your Congress is going to bring up too much details overall. Nothing you have not heard before. But yeah, they're going to ask some questions that I'd be like, wow, you're really asking that. So they are going to go deep to a certain level, but not too deep, where it's national security. So expect a lot of Fifth Amendment situations. Like, we can't talk about that. We can't talk about this. We can't say that. At least that's the vibe we're getting from it at this moment. So a lot of the congressmen are just kind of, well, they see it as a natural threat because they feel like it's Russia or China or some kind of situation. Obviously not going to go into deep details, and that's what they're really aiming most of this at. So just to give you an understanding of that. So they're trying to point the finger at somebody. Not that it's the UFOs, just a little bit of green men walking on their ships and all that. Obviously, they're probably not going to go to that level. Some might go that level, but most are just going to look for what country is doing this. So it's your own country, America. And of course, there's others involved, but it is the shadow government. So yes, the shadow government's willing to show some aspects of himself. It programs society, so society is not going to, take this too seriously. Now, is society going to realize how it's been programmed? Well, that's another story. Let's see. Greetings. We are the Andromedans. Greetings to you and your soul ascension. Connected to your light, your music, your inner thoughts, inner growth. The 1970s is, it's kind of like a hippie year. So it's not just for manipulation. It is to connect to the new light within yourselves. Some of you are already doing that already. I feel like there's, a 1960 vibe will come through basically of soul metaphysical awakening. There is, the seed is there, it just hasn't fully blossomed yet. So people are being suppressed at this time. Gas prices, economic turmoil, soul growth is everywhere. So the idea is for the soul to manifest beyond blossom through all of this. So yes, it's getting the soul to figure itself out, to point the finger at itself. Yes, it's having all these difficulties. Like if I go this way, I can't go anywhere. I go that way, I can't go anywhere. Who am I? Who am I to, what is going to come out of me? And you'd be surprised. Doesn't mean they'll connect to the alien frequencies just yet. They can connect to another version of love for themselves and just basically not letting materialism bother them so much, because so many here are so materialistically, it's so obsessed with materialism, as always with societies like yours. Even if it is in debt, it's very similar to France, ancient France or recent France, whatever France. They're much in debt also. Of course, many people are living the royalty life of owning a great deal. Well, of course, your society is built you up to live a royalty life because you need a certain car and a certain type of automobile or some kind of lifestyle to survive, which also in some form does show a higher frequency, at least for standards of living, is improving. Yes, of course they add a cost to it, but eventually it will go down. But right now it's just chaotic vibrations. There are different elite systems going on that don't know what to do with humanity at this time. But one of the reasons for the 1970s is basically growth, soul growth. Yes, you can call it a manipulation on many levels, but a lot of souls here, they all feel like they belong here. So they're going backwards. And so your elite system is taking you back. So humanity is going backwards. Not everybody, but quite a few are. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a strange situation. Yes, everyone wants to blame the elites for everything. But a lot of human consciousness still has more strength. It's like, yes, they'll learn through the manipulations, but, that's fine. But sometimes they need to change things around. And going backwards is one of them. They've done this throughout history. This is nothing new. And you're seeing it more in the modern history. Because back in the history of the world, obviously, not many people are writing things down. And if they did, it didn't go by the narrative. As many of you know, it got thrown away and burned and whatever it might be. Look at the Book of Enoch. They're surprising that even survived. So even the Dead Sea Scrolls, another version of what happened in the past. A version of it obviously has been manipulated left and right. So basically, I mean, for those of you that are connected to the history of the earth, yes, connect to the version that works for you. You don't have to go necessarily what the Bible or books say or anything like that. Just what you feel, because that's where you get most of your healing from. It's just follow the soul. Even if you feel like you're not right or wrong, either way, you'll find something there. It's like, the history might not look like, and it could maybe come from different timelines. So, what's this? Grease you. The Anunnaki consciousness. Your Congo is, even to us alien beings, is a mystery. We don't even understand half the beings that were there. You say us as the alien energies are still trying to figure it out. Basically, many portals are open in their African state, where all these different types of extraterrestrials came in to connect to a human. So many of them came after humans were seeded to your current states, your DNA. But other beings came in because those portals are open. They just kept coming in. So it is part of the seeding of the earth. But it goes much deeper than that. But it is one of the places where many alien beings came through. It came from the African portals that went around the world. Asia had one. Your oceans have a great deal. course, Asia has many. It's just when you see these type of gods and goddesses and all these different masks and all that, it shows you there's a different frequency, and the frequencies are still there. Well, it's hostile for multiple reasons. One of which is to keep people out. It's like it's a sanctuary. Don't mess with us. We don't need foreigners here. If you know what you're doing, you will come here if you're needed, but it's to keep people out. Even those that are wealthy. Of course, those that are wealthy manipulate it more than anything, but because of its resources. So it is a touchy subject. It is a place we can have alien interaction, but also interaction from warlords and everybody else. Yeah, it is. You can call Congo, not all of it, but a good part of it, as a black site, meaning that it's off the radar. So it is, yes, connected to your intelligence agencies and all of that. So they know what's going on. They're not going to, well, at least on a modern level, they don't understand all the gods and everything. You kind of stay away from a lot of it. But there is an alien energy there. There's where a lot of alien frequencies do connect to humans. It's deep there. Yeah. It's a place where, yes, your hairs in the back of your neck and all of that come up and all those things. It is hostile, but once again, if you know what you're doing, it's a place to... yeah, their world's not ready to see it that way just yet. At least on a world. When the world starts wanting to discover itself, such as these ancient sites. Now, there are certain ancient sites that are, the Stonehenge, the pyramids. But a place like the Congo, if your world is ready to heal those energies, we don't have to have that war there and make it more friendlier, which can happen. That shows your world's going to a high frequency ascension energy. And right now it's deadly there. Well, not all, but there are cities that are safe, but still, it's still not the safest place in the world. So it's just that the alien connections are where the tribes are. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Yes, reptilian beings are there, all kinds of different beings there. Alien beings just wonder who you are. There's a lot of portals that are still open there. So it is an alien. It just, there are worlds. I mean, you have a world within a world. You go to Africa, you feel like you're on another planet. You go to China, you feel like you're on another planet. So those places like Africa, like the Congo, is connected to a parallel reality. Not just a parallel Earth, but parallel worlds altogether. And of course, this world, that's one of the reasons why our world is so difficult, and it's, it's unique of all. Yeah, it's like this world, yes, difficult, but also has a lot to offer the soul. So we don't see this world really ever going away. Some talking about the ascension. Yes, versions of it will go into the future, but others are starting over again. There's other versions of Earth where it's transforming. So it's just a world that's very unique to other planets, where it goes deep into itself. Deeper, but you need these other worlds to keep you from destroying yourselves. So the Africa energies, at least in the Congo, is really to test the soul. It's really to bring, magic that's not normal, that's quite intense, to bring DNA from other societies here. And yes, it's connected to other slave realities. But also worlds that are very just powerful on an energy level. These tribes connect to a higher frequency. Yes, there's darkness there, but there's also light there. Yes, there's some do connect to reptilians, but not necessarily of a negative nature. Yes, of course there's darkness there, but there is light to be found also. So for some, they can find themselves in Africa. It's not an easy place. Yeah, some of these alien worlds, because you have all these different worlds within your world. An African place is very just, it's a place that, yes, you can easily get lost in.